Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com. Today is the end of the trading session for the week, Friday, June 26th of 2020. And what we're looking at right here is the S&P 500 futures chart. Basically, the market ended the week very close to where it opened up. So what we're looking at is here we have up here Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See the market opened up, came down here to about 30.26, went up, came back down, and then it closed over here at about 33,004. So about 22 points off of where it opened up, or where it had that low right when it opened up on Sunday evening. Excuse me. So, really, just obviously a range week is all it was. Just the market's consolidating. But I just want to show you from what it looked like. So it looked like it was overall a down week when you look at it, because from about Wednesday on, the market pretty much went down with that little bit of retracement up right there. But it did go back down. And so this is my trading setup for today. Let's go to the 2-minute chart, because that's what I trade off of right here. And so basically what I was looking at, there weren't too many good setups for what I was looking for. Here you have the 127 to 141 Fibonacci extension level from the previous days, overnight high and low. And as you can see, today that was definitely the target zone for the high. And then once it hit that in the overnight session, then it just, the market fell out, and then it came down all the way back down here and used it almost as the target for the support area before the market closed for the day. And then you can see over here the overnight overnight low really didn't do that much um, for it. There was some support off of there, and then price came and hit the 127 141 current days overnight high and overnight low area. Again, that really didn't do that much either. Price just uh, carved through it super easily, and then finished all the way back down here. One thing I will show, let's go over here, a little bonus. What I'm looking for the market opening up on Sunday night, I am looking for the market to come down over here. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, E-minis or E-micros. And so what I'm looking for is price to come back down here to about 24,800. I was trying to get in here at the end of the day Friday today, but at this time period right here, it was when it was about at 2:36 p.m. Central Standard Time. And when they get pretty close to the market being closed for the weekend, things were slowing down some, which obviously there's still some movements up in it. I didn't want to risk it trying to get into it, but as you can see, it didn't even come down here anyways. So when the market does open up Sunday night, the overnight session, that is something I'm going to try to get into. As you can see, what I'm looking at for it is using that swing high right there, that swing low right there. Price come up, hit the 38% Fibonacci retracement level. And then you have the target down here, the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level. So that's definitely a trade I'm looking for starting on Sunday overnight session. But anyways, back to SP 500 and what we are looking for next week right here. Basically, let's go to the 1 hour chart, because it's going to show a better picture for right here. Not a whole lot has changed, to be honest. We were still in this 1 hour long setup with the target that we have right up here. I'll just draw that target box up here for it. That is still in play up to about 33.49. So nothing has really changed for it right there. Now we do have a short setup as well that we're looking at, and price is currently kind of dead set in that right now. Let me change this. There we go. So the target area they're looking for the short stuff that is currently in play for it right now is going to be, where is it? At about 29.67 is where the target area is going to be. This is for the 1 hour chart. As you can see, it says Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Tuesday's high up there. That's the high point for it. Here's the low right down there. Price came back up, hit about the 50% level, and now currently has been working down ever since. Let me remove this off of there. It's a little easier to see. So that's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking for for the 1 hour chart for another kind of short down to it. And if it does go down and hit it, well then it's hitting back up into this area of this even longer term where I just showed a second ago, 1 hour chart for it, which would create almost getting close to being a double bottom between the 50% and the 61.8% level for that setup right there. I'm not looking for this one up here to be a short setup right there using that pivot swing high, that swing low, come back up here. I'm not ready to call that one yet for it, but this is one that it is currently in, and as you can see, as we had the sell-off here on Friday, and it broke that previous swing low right there. I am looking for price to come back down when the market opens for next week on Monday to come down, fulfill this, hit this, which would be around 29.67 area. And so even when that happens, just like I said a second ago, the long play on the 1 hour chart is still in place, so that really won't impact anything as well. So I mean, the week came and went, basically didn't change anything in the makeup of the market that we're looking for on the intermediate term. But again, just to reiterate, when the market does open on Sunday evening, I am looking for more weakness in the market. Come down here about to 29.67, and then we're going to see if the market is in fact going to hold when it hits down to these previous levels down here, and see if that will start catapulting it up to go up here and reach this target at 33.49. But if the market obviously hits this target and then just keeps on going to there, then we'll pull this off of here and start looking for continuation short sets based upon, let's get this a little bigger right here, based upon this move right here. So we're going to go now to the longer term time frame, and again, not a whole lot has changed here on the weekly chart for it. We still are on this super long term setup, a buy setup for it, using this swing low, this swing high. Seen price came back down, hit the 38% level, hit the 50% level. So the current exit for this one that we're looking at right here is going to be about 4,034. I just say about 4,000 for it. So when anyone asks what I'm thinking for the SP 500, I tell them, look, my target I have for it long-term time frame is 4,000. So, you know, despite everything going on out there, especially with the coronavirus, it looks like second wave, whether you believe in it or not, is getting hit while the government's shutting things down in certain cities. So it's definitely going to take a little bit of an impact on the market, but long term, the S&P 500 for it, I'm still very bullish on it. And that's there in the weekly chart. Going into the daily right here, a little bit shorter term time frame. Again, not a whole lot has changed as well. This is what I was showing last week using this swing low. That swing high, price came back down, hit in between 38% to 61.8% levels. And then the current target we're looking for this move right here is about 33.59 there on the long side. Setup for it. Price has entered into a short setup right here for the short side, but I'm not looking for it completely just right now, even though it is valid for price to come back down, and this would be the target right about down here, right about 28.40ish, something like that, just because we're still in the long setup right up here for the daily chart right there. And if you look down here at the MFI, this is just I use indicator I use for a reference to see basically if the market is overbought or oversold. If it's above the purple over here, that means the market is overbought. Below means oversold. And as you can see right about down here, let me move the marker or my mouse out there because then that stuff pops up. But anyways, you can see down there at the very bottom, price is getting very close to reaching the oversold area. So that's why I think if there is going to be a little bit more downside to the market to start off, it definitely is going to put the market, as far as the money flow index reader is concerned, in the oversold area. And when that happens, usually price does bounce back from that, and you do find a movement going up. Doesn't happen every single time, but it is just a good barometer and something to look for it right there. So that's why I'm looking for a little bit downside to start the week, but then continue the trend up for it. And then lastly, let's go look at the VIX over here because this is very important to the market. Long term, again, not a whole lot. Here we just have almost a hammer doji candle, if you believe in those things. And using this swing high, not sure it was out the daily chart. Let's see this. How do I have it set up here? Yeah, using that swing high right there, that swing low. We're still in a short setup here for the VIX. This week again is just middling around. It didn't change anything the way I look at it for that. And so still the target we have for it is about 11, and that would fill this gap we have right over here from about 18.6 up to about 21.7. So no real big changes to report about this week. Still, the market's still intact for the bullish steps that we have for it. It's really going to take really another push down, decent sized push down for these short steps to really start overtaking these bullish setups. And here in the VIX, if you're not familiar with it, all it is it tracks the volatility for the S&P 500. So when the VIX is going up, the S&P 500 is going down, and when the VIX is going down, the S&P 500 is going up. So that's why not until this gap that we have in the VIX comes down and gets filled, I'm not ready to look for the S&P 500 for any type of big major retracement that we saw previously, but an even bigger one to happen because it eventually will. Price has been going up for too far and too long, so eventually there will be some type of big retracement in the market. But until this gap comes down here and gets filled, then I'm not really concerned about that happening. But one day it will. I just don't think it's going to happen until this VIX comes down here and gets filled. And then also swinging back over here to the S&P 500, as you can see up here as well. Before we had this previous high over here, there's a small gap right up here in the S&P 500, so definitely looking for that to get filled as well. But yeah, so that's basically it for the S&P 500. That's the long-term stuff for it. Again, on the short-term side of it, open up next week. Let's go back to the hourly chart so it's a little bit easier to see. Looking for more down, a little bit more downside in the market. Looking for this to come down and get hit around about 29.67, and then we'll see if that will hold, and because it comes right back into this 50% to 61.8% zone over here, see if this provides support again, and then for the market to rally up to about 33 was about 33.50 over there. I'm not saying that's going to happen next week, but just for the setup where this comes down and gets hit and the market starts pushing higher, moving up from there. So anyways, that's the review of this past week for the S&P 500, and then moving in to the next week, which when does that start at? That's going to be June 29th. Oh, and it's July 4th after that. Wow, man, time goes fast. Anyways, y'all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.